What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Wealth Not Wait. I'm your host, as always, Coizza, and getting right into it, today's video, we're talking about the time value of money. Valuing money versus time, or time versus money. A lot of people, the vast majority of people in the United States at least, and I would imagine most other parts of the world, again, although I haven't done my research extensively as I have towards the United States, so I don't want to speak on something I'm not familiar with. Especially in the United States, trade their time for money. That's kind of how a lot of the economy works. You go to work, you work X amount of hours, you get paid X amount per hour, and therefore you make money. If you work $10 an hour for 10 hours, you get $100. That's how a lot of people make their money. Or they are supposed to come in from a set time. If you're on a salary, from a set time, from say 9 to 5, and you do that for 5 days a week. Usually Monday through Friday. And then you get paid 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90,000 a year, however much you make. That is your time value for money. You're giving away your time in exchange for money. Now, as we all know, we live in an economy, live in a society. Money is an extraordinarily important thing to getting the things that we want, to getting the things that we need, such as food, housing, education, a variety of fucking things. The other point of view is, though, people who don't exchange their time for money. This is something I read about, and I talk a little bit about in the book as well, but I read about it in the 10 Pillars of Wealth, and I've heard about it and been educated and researched about it for fucking years and years before I even read that book, and that people have been talking about for really generations, is people don't exchange their time for money. Like, say I go out now, and if I sell a book, I exchange the time I put into that book, yes, give them a product and a service, in this case a product, if I sell a book or a t-shirt or whatever, and then I get money back. I don't exchange my time for that. In some cases you have to create the t-shirt and whatnot, but that's a different aspect of it. But say if I go to the book printer and they print up, I'd say, here, I'll grab a whole bunch. This is actually a great example. I didn't print up a single one of these books. I had this book printed from the book printer. And when I sell said books on Amazon, Amazon goes and they ship them out and they make part of the profit. The book printer makes part of the profit. And it's a whole, special thing. But well, not me. But that's the whole thing, is I didn't, do anything other than create the content. Which, there wouldn't be a book without the creation of the content and the cover and whatnot. But I don't exchange my time for money. That's not how I do it. When I Uber or something, that's different. I exchange my time and grabbing the food and bringing it in exchange for money, and that's on a per case-by-case basis. It's not a flat rate. It's okay, I spend 15 minutes to go get said order and then drive it over here, and I get $10 or however much that amount, usually not $10, more like the $6 to $7 range. But I'm not purely exchanging my time for money for most of what I do. And that is how you grow your wealth. That's how you grow to not have to waste your time. Your time and mindset are the two biggest assets that you have. Those are the most important things that you could have. There's the strong mindset and time. You can't get time back. Okay, if you live to be 90, if you live to be 100, if you live to be 260, whatever that is, you have a set amount of time on this earth. If you're spending 5 minutes, if you're spending 10 minutes, if you're spending 30 seconds doing something, that is 30 seconds you are never going to get back. Granted, you have usually a lot of time. If you're at the end of your life, I'm sorry you don't have that much time. But if you're 20s or 30s or hell, even your 40s or 50s, you still have a strong amount of time to do something. Okay, and then your mindset. You cannot make the use of your time. There are people who go through this earth, they live, work, eat, sleep, and that's it. That's all they got. They live on the weekends, they see their friends occasionally, they eat some food, they work most of the time, they go home, they do that until they're retired, then they travel a little bit for a couple years, and then they die. Not having the mindset, unfortunately, to break out of that, to try and achieve for more, to maybe have to, eat shit for a little bit and fucking figure your way out and improve. No, if you don't have the mindset to do that, you're not going to make the most of your time. In fact, most people end up squandering their time because they don't have the mindset for that. TikTok is very, very engaging. Don't get me wrong. I could sit there and scroll for hours and not even fucking realize it. Right? It's very engaging. I put something on my phone, matter of fact, of the business stuff. After like 20 minutes, it stops it because I know I'm never going to get that time back. But if you don't have The mindset to say, hey, let me put something on my phone, or hey, let me stop, hey, let me go do the thing I want to do now, or oh, not one more video, let me stop now because I know one more video is going to turn into 75 fucking videos, right? Especially when they were only a minute, they would just go quick. It's that you don't have that mindset, you're not going to make the most of your time. You need to use a balance of these combinations, your mindset and your time. People often exchange their time for money. You have to decide how valuable is your time. Even when you're not working a job, you're exchanging your time for something. There's a cost to your time. If you go hang out with your friend, you're wasting time in some sense, or spending your time. I don't want to use the word wasting because, some people you do waste time with, it's unfortunate. Not everybody you talk to is going to be beneficial and you're going to enjoy the experience with, but usually when you're spending time with friends, you're using your time, and if you're having a good time and enjoying being around them, you're using your time wisely. Most people use their time for money. They have to go to work, they get paid hourly, or they go to work, they get paid a salary, but they're expected to be there between a certain time and do a certain time doing a certain task. Other people who take control of their finances, take control of their time, their money, that is something that is extraordinarily important to me. That's also why I decided, hey, I always knew I couldn't work for somebody else. And after the month and a half, 2 months that I somewhat enjoyed working at Target, it became like somebody sucked the oxygen out of the room. It felt like I was being chained up and watching my family die in front of me. That's kind of how much it hurt me just to be there. It felt like I was wasting my life because I am very conscious of my time. I'm late to a lot of things. Yes, my time management's a little off, but because I try and put as much as I can into the small amount of time that we have, which is 24 hours. You can do a lot in 24 hours, but I want to do a fuck ton in 24 hours. I really enjoy my time, and I realize I'm not going to get that back. People who exchange their time for money, which is most people, I understand you're probably in that situation, but if you want to make the most of your time, if you want to make the most of your life, you need to find a way to break away from that. You need to, create something, or write a book, or artwork, or, make YouTube videos, or whatever you have to do that doesn't require your time. One of the big pillars of wealth, one of the 10, or ended up being 11, I don't want to spoil the book for you, but financial pillars of wealth is to separate your time from your money. Your time is limited. You can go out and make $1 billion. Again, it's not an easy thing to do. I understand it's difficult, but look, people like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, and you'll see all these crazy quotes. If you earned $100,000 a second since the time the fucking pyramids were built to now, and then double that, you still wouldn't have as much as fucking Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. Everybody sees the fucking crazy quotes, right? They didn't do that by exchanging their time for something. They built something of value for other people. They built something unique. They built something that that never happened before. Even actors, they're on set and they're doing stuff, but they're not exchanging their time for money. People watch movies and they get the royalties for it. Creating something, putting something of value out in the world is the way to separate your time from your money. Having other people do things that require time-based stuff. Say I actually printed books. And I had to print 1,000 books. If I stood there and printed 1,000 books, I'd be wasting a significant amount of time instead of taking part of that profit and paying somebody else to use their time to go do that who's willing to do that. Not everybody is trying to separate their time from money. Everybody would like to, but not everybody's going to take the steps to do it. Finding the way to take the steps to do it for work for you. Again, you can do a million different things. Create music, write books, make YouTube videos, artwork, photography, sell products, start a small business, sell things on eBay. Give advice, small films, a whole fucking bunch of stuff, that you could come up with creative. Whatever works for you best is the way to separate time from money. Time has value. Time has more value than money. That's a big reason why I want to gain more money and have financial freedom, is the freedom aspect of financial freedom, to do what I want and not have to worry about supporting my family and getting money and doing that and working a job. Because when you have to exchange your time for money, you are going to very quickly run out of time. You have a lot of time in this world, so long as you don't squander it or stress about the fucking details. You can't go out in life and be like, I have no idea what I'm gonna do. Oh my God, this is horrible. I gotta figure this out now. I gotta do this. You do that, your life's gonna go by very quickly. In the same token, if you do absolutely nothing and sit around all day, your life's gonna go by very quickly. But if you go, I need to figure out what I need to do with my life. Let me go try all the things I think I would enjoy. Let me go try the things that I know I enjoy. Let me go do the things I enjoy. You have a lot of time. Time has a cost to it. And you just kind of have to decide whether or not you're willing to pay that price. Everything you do, everything you spend your time on, you have to decide whether or not you're willing to pay that price. you're willing to go work for $15 an hour, then you're willing to pay that price. You know, maybe you need it. Obviously, a lot of people do. You know, that's the fucking way they make money, and that's the way they support their families. Again, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, if everybody decided they weren't, then the fucking economy would collapse, and everybody would be in a probably worse predicament. But you need to make that decision for yourself. And if you decide that giving up your time for money isn't what you need to do, then you need to figure something out. You know, again, don't look at courses online. Here's how you make $100,000 passively, this, that. Go out and find out what you genuinely love to do and what you're good at. And use that to separate your time from money. Time has a cost. The more you're working and doing stuff, the less you spend time with your family. The more you're working on a job you hate, the less you're spending your time with your passion. And inversely, some people just want to sit around all day, play video games, but then complain they don't have enough money. You're not using your time wisely, therefore you don't have money. Other people want more money and they're busting their ass. It's completely understandable. That's a good portion of people. But you need to figure out a way to separate that time from money. Time has a cost. And a lot of things cost time. So that's the value of time and money and how they correlate. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and tell me, how do you try and separate your time from money if you do? If not, tell me why. If you're just like, I'm comfortable working my job, going home, eating, sleeping, and doing that until I'm 65, talk about it. That's great. As long as you're happy, that's what's important. But if you're not, and you try and actually do something about it, tell me in the comments below. If you guys like this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Peace. Gonna jump back in real quick before the video ends. This is actually our 99th video. Next week is our 100th video, and the week after that is 2 years of being on YouTube. So before this video ends, I want to make sure I thank everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening and at least enjoying or being educated by things that I say, and taking the time to give me one of your most valuable resources, your time, and you feel that I bring you value in some way, shape, or form. It truly, truly means a lot to me to be able to fulfill my dream by you guys doing that, by taking your time out, by using something that is so precious that you can't get back, and then finding value in the things that I provide. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next week.